Vanguardian News. How's everybody today? It's going to be a quick live, um, but there's a lot of news as far as just basically the economy. I saw that I read that you got interest rates rising, might be another interest rate hike. People are preparing for or bracing for, especially Wall Street. They're bracing for a recession. Seems there is a recession that's pretty much inevitable, and it's inevitable. And what can you do? This is how the economy is. And Biden, to me, has been a disaster of a president, an outright disaster. I was totally wrong about this guy. This is one of these ceremonial presidencies. This was his last act. Yeah. And he's up here talking about why are people talking about he shouldn't run for re-election? Because your presidency sucks. That's why. We went from worse to even worse. These old, in their 70s oligarchs trying to hold on to power. All of them, in my opinion, they need to be removed from office. They need to be voted out. We need to find some viable, some other candidates, some viable candidates that are, they got the youth. They have a movement. And it needs to be in the hands of the youth. So you got technology growing. These old heads, they want to hold back. They want to just tell you what you can't do. Wait. Have patience. No, we're not having patience, man. We got our futures. We're not here to be, this status quo and everything like that. So we're not going to be patient. And they shouldn't be patient. These people are 20-year-old geniuses out here. They're trying to move the country forward. And we're steadily with these old heads, these old ideas and antiquated ideas. They're not working anymore. Not for what we need to be doing to push the country forward. And you can see how it is in Congress. No one's working together. They're just as childish as anything else. We're supposed to have our trust in these stupid politicians. All they're looking for is this. I get texts every day, $15, donate $15 to fight Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade. That's all you hear. Roe versus Wade. Well, you could have codified that law into law, and you just didn't do it. So I don't care one way or the other about that. I'm pro-choice. What the woman wants to do with her body, it's up to her. Who am I to say you can't do this? Who am I to say that? And you go and across the world. You go on the continent of Africa and Senegal. Macky Sall, he promised a whole bunch of things to the country, a whole bunch of this, a whole bunch of that. He's just as corrupt as everyone else. All of them are corrupt, just as corrupt. Every last one of those African leaders are corrupt. And they can be brutal. They don't represent the people. None of them. Oh, elect me in, elect me in. If you elect me, I would do this, I would do that. They all say the same thing until they get in office. And they do nothing for the people. Nothing. They sit on their hands, collect all the money, rob all the people of the money and the wealth. Do not distribute any wealth to the country, to the citizens. The citizens are on their own in everything they do. Whether it's in Africa, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in the United States. Name a country, and there's corruption. Every leader looks out for himself and his family, looks out for himself. If you elect me, I will do this, I will do that. We're a year in. What has Biden done? What has he done? They're still trying to put Trump in jail. They're still trying to have this whole January 6th committee stuff. Who's going to get arrested? What is Garland doing? Merrick Garland. He's a waste. Why is he even head of the DOJ? He's a waste, man. He's soft. It's a soft general. That's all he is. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. The evidence is there. The evidence is there. Somebody need to go to jail. We're still waiting, waiting, waiting. Merrick Garland. Awful. He's awful, Attorney General. Awful. So, you know, I'm through. I voted, though. I voted last Sunday for the Maryland governor and attorney general. I voted Democrat all the way up, the ballot. Some people I read up on, a lot of them, it was strange to me, but they were on the ballot. Again, you don't see these people until it's time to vote. They pop out then. They decide they want to pop out when it's time to vote. Other than that, you don't see them. You don't see them in the community. They don't live where me and you live at. Do you see them around your community? Outside of getting $400 plate dinners or lunches and stuff like that? That's the only time you see them. When you have a brunch, $400 plate brunch, $200 plate brunch here and there, breakfast or whatever. That's the only time they pop out. Other than that, they're a waste. I'm frustrated, man. Because it's over and over and over again. We get promised this, we promised that. Oh, well, we don't have the votes in the Senate. We don't have this, we don't have that. Well, maybe at some point we need to just, just maybe change the system. Change it. It's stagnant. There's no movement one way or the other. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, there's no movement. So if the Republicans take over the House and Senate, it'll be the same thing. The Democrats are going to block everything they do, and vice versa. So that whole system needs to be re-examined and changed, in my opinion. It's terrible. No one's doing anything. Nothing. Vote for me, 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 I'll do this, vote for me. A year later, what are you doing? What are you doing? Nothing. I see what they do, though. They go on TV, they go on these political news, mainstream news media outlets, and they all they talk a good game. They're very good at that. They're very good actors. Because they're not, whatever they're doing or talking, it's not getting done. you pay attention to what they're saying, they're just talking. Nothing is getting done. Meanwhile, people like me and you, we have to pay our taxes like everyone else. And we expect certain services, and the services that we get are below average at best. Below average at best. You know, then you have people say, well, if you don't like it here, leave. Leave for what? Everywhere you go is like that. From one disaster to another disaster? That's what you want me to do? Leave for one disaster to another disaster? I'm sorry, I'm good. I'll just have to deal with my, whatever system I have to deal with over here. But it is, it's getting annoying, to say the least. We got to take our country back. We have to take America back from the politicians and the filthy rich oligarchs who are running the country and running it to the ground, whether you're a Democrat or Republican. They all come on the camera and smile, and oh man, come on. It's frustrating, man. It really is. Frustrating thing. Every time I look at my check, I examine where the taxes, who's getting what, who's getting that, who's getting this. Local tax, local state tax, Medicare, Social Security, blah, 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 blah. Federal, state, local tax. They're getting rich and no service is being rendered. When you call, check on something, when you call, your local, your state government for something, or go on the websites. The websites are terrible. They crash. You fill out, the form or whatever you need to fill out on the website. It crashes. You got to start all over again. You understand what I'm saying? The fleecing of America is continuing day after day after day. And no one's doing anything about it. No one's doing anything. No one's doing anything. We're suckers. And we've been suckers for a while. The joke is on us. Because we allow these people to take our countries, to hijack it. While they go to parties, $1,000, $10,000 plate dinners and stuff like that, while they socialize and prance around on the red carpet, making appearances that don't make any sense. No one is working for the people. But yet, let one of us refuse to pay taxes, refuse to contribute. They'll come after us with the weight of the state. So, let me rant. Let me get my bars off and rant. Whether it makes sense or not, it's just frustrating. It's horrible. We got to get our country back. We got to get it back from the big business, from these executives and all these so-called decision makers who are making terrible decisions. Biden's too old. I mean, he could barely even talk without stumbling over his words. So he has someone handling him. Kamala Harris. What is she doing? What is she doing? She's like a mascot. What is she actually doing? What is she doing? You think she's going to win? You think she's going to be elected to a presidency? The fools will probably put her in office. Is the MAGA party going to reelect Trump? He's a fool. He's a complete clown. DeSantis in Florida, he's unstable. But you seen some of his policies? The man is unstable. Mitch Romney, he's another rich oligarch. Tries to be a nice guy, tries to seem like he's above the fray. Nah, I don't trust him either. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a complete bozo. And what's the other one? I forget her name. Last name begins with a B. Because she's so irrelevant, I don't even pay attention to her. But she's an idiot. The one that like to have her guns with her family and talk about the Second Amendment all the time, and she got the gun-toting congresswoman. She's a complete bozo. Matt Gaetz, he's a pedophile. Where's his case going? He's a jerk. Josh Hawley, another jerk. Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan. Enough said. He can't even put a suit jacket on. You know, this is grown-up politics, my guy. Look the part. Jim Jordan, a joke. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she can barely put a sentence together. I'm serious. She can barely. Have you ever heard her talk? You ever hear her ideology? A complete bozo, nut job. This is where we're going as a country. We allow these people to hijack our country. We allow them to, just lead us off the cliff, and no one's saying anything. So it is what it is. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Peace.